Using Theory Presentation. This interview was conducted on Wednesday, April 8th via Microsoft Teams. Carla Gibson is a Senior IT Delivery Service Manager or the Director of Business Operations for the Buzzcart Center at the Georgia Institute of Technology. She has a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering from Howard University and extended her education by obtaining a Master's of Education in Information Technology from Troy University. Her higher education positions include her current position as a Senior IT Delivery Service Manager or the Director of Business Operations, an Application Support Analyst, and the Technical Service Manager. All three of her higher education positions were at the Institute of Technology, and it's very interesting to me that her positions have not extended to other universities or colleges. Her positions outside of higher education included a large-scale solutions consultant for Anderson Consulting, a plant systems administrator, as well as project manager for Black & Decker, and 2 positions for Rockdale County Schools, which include a math and science teacher and the head of online remediation programs. Carla has an extensive background in the sciences as well as technology, so seeing her position in higher education and how she relates theory to that is something I found to be quite interesting. Carla uses student development theory in a couple of ways. Most ways aren't with students one-on-one, but in support of students as it relates to the Buzzcart Center. She makes the Buzzcart Center a place where all students have a hand in the policies and changes that we have in our office. One example of this is that for student funds, we call them Buzz Funds. At one point, we wanted to change that name to something cool, something different, something not too basic. And so Carla made up a survey that students could come into our office and actually hands-on place a sticker on what they wanted their new name to be. And before then, they were able to submit multiple name ideas. Not only were students able to submit those ideas and vote on a survey, but faculty and staff were as well. Carla also has some experience with the constructivism theory from what I took from it, because she consistently gets feedback from her student assistants and from us, her staff, on how we can change how Buzzcart develops. We often have faculty meetings and staff meetings with her so we can go over what's new, what we would like to change, what she can improve on to help us improve. And I feel that's all about the student development theory. Not only are you trying to develop the student, but you're trying to develop your staff so that they are able to help the students develop as well. Some benefits of applying her theory are: it generates morale between students, faculty, and staff across the campus because it gets everyone involved. It isn't just a one department matter. It provides understanding of the student experience that can be used to make the Buzzcart Center better. Student experience is all what the student development theory is about, is relating those experiences to help the growth of the institution as well as the student. And it shows where improvements can be made within campus services. Buzzcart Center is a very big part of campus services. So when we allow students to give us feedback, we can provide that feedback to the entire department. Some challenges are making sure that everyone is on the same page as it relates to theory. Having one person feel a certain way about how we provide input, or having students give us feedback, if everyone doesn't understand how that goes, then we can't actually put it in place. Being sure not to overstep boundaries, not only with students, but with other administrators. So I see this as her saying that because we are a part of a larger department, we can't always do everything we would like to do because we don't know if we're stepping on the toes of other departments. And resources. Because we are just a part of a larger group, we don't always have the resources that we would like to implement the different things we would like to do in our office. When I asked her about how she sees other departments use theory, she went straight towards the overall umbrella of campus services. They offer many different programs where students can showcase who they are, not only to other students, but to faculty staff as well. When students are able to give out that forefront of who they are, we as administrators get a full understanding of how we can help them develop and grow within the college experience. When asked how she keeps up to date with the different research regarding theory, she does attend many different conferences, programs, and webinars that are offered through Georgia Tech and through other higher education communities around the city of Atlanta. The advice she gave me was to collaborate with other administrators, never try to go at this alone, keep up to date with new research. So she always pushes me to join different conferences. She always pushes me to join different courses and areas to just update my own development. Make whatever area you work in a safe space for both students and other administrators. Her door is always open to talk, and I feel like that's very important for everyone. And use your own development to help guide students. I felt like that was the most important advice because I do look at myself and how I'm developing so that when I do work with other students one-on-one, that I'm able to take what they give me, apply it to my own background, and to help them in the end. My initial reaction to everything Carla said was I was amazed at how much we were on the same page because her background is mostly in technology and mine is mostly in arts and humanities. I didn't think our ways of theory or understanding theory would be very similar, and it is. And I feel like that's mainly because she was a teacher at one point and I started in early childhood education. So I feel like that background in teaching and education was something that made us similar in that way. My overall assessment to this is that I got a better understanding of how someone who doesn't directly work with students one-on-one consistently applies theory to their job. Carla doesn't necessarily work with the students herself, but she does implement many programs and activities through her staff, including me, that we do apply to students around campus. Also, having to conduct an interview through the video chat was a different experience, which I relate to the students who now have to have class through virtual classrooms when they were used to be in a physical classroom. I'm used to doing interviews on a face-to-face basis, not through a video camera. So that was also a very different experience for me. And it was one that I felt like I could relate to the development of a student. This is a very different college experience for them, and as is for those working in higher education as well. And getting an understanding of someone's career background gives me insight and guidance on my own career path. It's very interesting that Carla started off on a path where she worked at different plants and as consultants for business firms, and now she works in higher education. I always felt that in higher education, you had to kind of start there to grow there, but I see that you could take your background from anywhere and grow in higher education as long as you take everything that you're learning from other experiences, which is all what student development theory is about, is taking your experiences to make you greater in a different area. And that's what I feel with a career background. You take your experience from other career backgrounds just so that you can develop in higher education.